Hey, I'm Jess Hugo, personal trainer and nutritionist, and I am here to show you that life is messy, but we're doing it anyway. Welcome to Doing It Anyway, the podcast for building the life that you want without burning out. Let's get into it. She's back in your ears. Why do I feel like I haven't sat down and yapped in so long? If you have read the title of this episode, you already freaking know what I'm about to talk about. And if you are a follower of my Instagram, or we've even talked one-to-one, you know I'm very passionate about this topic because there is just a truth to a relationship weight gain, and then there's just like what we say in our heads. So I really want to talk about my own experience with it, common experiences I hear about, like relationship weight gain and all of the things. And let's just chat. We're just going to chat, low pressure, having a conversation. As always, if you have any questions pop up off the back end, slide into my DMs. I love chatting with you girls. But I think the biggest kind of takeaway of the overarching thing of like relationship weight gain is weight gain's not caused by the love of your partner. It's caused by how your habits have changed. I feel like that is first and foremost, because we're very, very quick to blame our partner and analyze the relationship and think there's like something wrong. Like, obviously my body is rejecting this person. Like, you hear those things online, right? Where everyone is saying the most woo shit ever and you're convinced that your partner is ruining your body and all of the things. But reality is it's like literally a change of habits. So really, really want to talk about this from my own perspective. I feel like, let's take it back a little bit. I never really grew up fully understanding calories and macros, and I think a lot of us have that situation, so no one is wrong for that. Like, I was actually the exact same of like, I just didn't understand it, and I really truly think that they need to teach it better and more at schools so that it's not so foreign when you like graduate from school and you have all this kind of like freedom of like, okay, cool, you have your license, so you're eating out more and you're going different places, and you know, you're on a campus that now has, if you're going to uni, that now has like all these foods around it, and there's just like so many different options, and you kind of just go ham because you're like, I'm not used to like being at my place of studying and having more than a shitty little canteen. Like, I have to choose between like Boost, McDonald's, like whatever is on that campus, and or even like a lot of them are like the shops are across the road and stuff, right? So I feel like it's this whole new world where you're just exposed to all this stuff that you haven't been before. And when you don't have that knowledge around food and nutrition, it can feel really quick and easy to gain weight from just like finishing up school, right? But then once you get into a relationship as well, like, what are you doing? You're hanging out more. You're probably going and getting food. I feel like a lot of us as well, like at least this was my experience, like when you're like 17, maybe even 18, I can't really remember the timeline, but definitely for 17, it was like you weren't really like staying over. They weren't like in your room with your door closed or whatever. So you'd go out and like get food and stuff. So then your dates became surrounded by like food, and it was just constantly like sitting down and eating because you couldn't actually just like hang at home, which I'm not saying you wouldn't snack at home, but you know what I'm saying? Like there's a different vibe. The girls who get it. But for me, because I already didn't understand so much about food, and then we kind of went into like COVID and stuff like that, I was just definitely struggling with, okay, I now have full reign of being able to eat whatever I want. I'm in this fresh new relationship. We started dating when I was in year 12, and I was like eating out so much more than I had before. Not that I ever grew up without like takeaway or with takeaway. Like, it was never this like, you know how some people have like a regular takeaway night, like Friday nights to get takeaway. We never had that, but it wasn't like a thing of like you can't have it. It was just this like middle of like, it's not really for offer. We're not really going out our way to have it, but maybe like we'll get it. Like, I know sometimes after like netball, I'd get like Macca's and stuff like that when I was younger, but it wasn't this like crazy thing. So then it felt like I'd gone from like never really having it or thinking about it or wanting it necessarily to then being shown food all the time and like being exposed to like different types of takeaway, like KFC. I swear no one in my family eats that. And which, again, no right or wrong, but I was like, oh, I want KFC. Like, I don't really love any of these ones, but like I want Hungry Jack's, I want a Porto, whatever, when I'd never really even eaten any of them before, which may surprise you because I literally live in an area that has Hungry Jack's, a Porto, KFC, Macca's, Subway, a chicken shop, all around each other. But God forbid we get a footpath. Anyway, I digress. I just feel like you get exposed to a whole different like ballpark of like food and all of the things, but you don't understand like how bad that food is for you when you're having it so often, and like how detrimental it can be for your health. And I think everyone's like, oh, but I've just like got in a relationship, so I'm just really happy now. I'm not hyper aware of everything I'm eating, and I'm not falling into this trap of like getting toxic with food. And I feel like there's so many ways to go about this conversation, so many sides of it, but there is definitely a difference between saying it's healthy relationship weight gain, but you're eating out every single day and not looking after your body, and now you're 10 kilos up. You're questioning your life. You're feeling really insecure in your skin about your body, you don't know what to wear, you're getting ready to go to an event and you're pulling apart your whole entire wardrobe because nothing fits and nothing looks good, you're hating how you look every single time you get a photo, you barely even want to get in photos anymore, like that is not healthy relationship weight gain. Like that is the whole other side of it. And I think when we say healthy relationship weight gain, there's just like such a weird definition around it. So for me, I'm like, cool, you gained a couple kilos, that is so fine. But if you're rapidly gaining and that is your experience, like we need to talk about it, but we need to start with like, it's not your partner's fault. Let's actually stop blaming your partner because they didn't force you to order Uber Eats. They didn't force you to have multiple date nights every single week. They didn't force you to start skipping the gym. Like, I know that they always say like, I love you the same, like it doesn't matter to me. But at the end of the day, I'll tell you what matters to me the most, how I feel in my body, how I feel in my skin. So I knew at that time as well, for me, I was like, I'm gaining weight so rapidly. I had never really been into gym or anything before. I remember when I was younger, we tried to get into gym, like me and some of my girlfriends. If you are currently listening to this podcast thinking, wow, I actually truly do need more support, structure, and strategy to reach the goals that I have in mind, then this is your sign. One-on-one coaching is where I take everything that I've mentioned in this podcast and create a customized plan for you to finally achieve your goals. It is designed for women who are ready to live their dream life. I'm talking losing the 5 to 10 kilos and living in your dream toned body sustainably, so that we can have it long term. Everything between your programming, nutrition, and check-ins is made for you. On top of this, you get direct access to me so we can fast track your results together one-to-one. If this sounds like something you're interested in, there is more information below in the show notes, but you're also more than welcome to slide into my Instagram DMs and we can have a conversation there. Let's get back to the episode. But we literally were like, how are we going to drive there? We don't have licenses and the bus is going to take like an hour and it just feels like diabolical. And then also our Macca's pay was like $8 an hour. So we we're going to have to work like a 4-hour shift to even pay for a membership, which like at the time that was like the world's ending, right? So I found it really, really hard to like figure out what to do because we didn't just have a gym locally and stuff like that, which again, it's like where I've grown up and all of the things. But I definitely had tried to get into it, but never got into it. Outside of just doing like the dance and netball, I hadn't done much movement. So it was very like a rude awakening when I'm like, whoa, okay, I've somehow gained like 20 kilos. Not like in the relationship. I don't really know necessarily how much I weighed when I started the relationship and stuff like that. I know I definitely was just struggling with like food and stuff in general in like year 12 of like, I'd stress eat because of HSE and all of the things. And then I would just like not even think about what I'm consuming, which I've shared before. I'd have like family packs of chips and chocky and shit like that. And I wouldn't even realize like how calorie dense it is. Also, I keep saying like bad. When I say bad, I mean like bad for you. Like you can't live off that cunt. Like where are your fruits and veg? But I'm not saying like bad, like labeling food. Like let's not get it twisted. But I think it's really, really easy to in that moment be like, oh my God, this is my partner's fault because he's making me go out and eat like food all the time and all of the things. And I even catch us now. My partner is very different to me in the sense of like health and fitness. He can just eat whatever he wants without gaining weight really because he has such a physically demanding job. But also I feel like we just have such different metabolisms. And whilst I'm like, can you be a little bit healthier? I also am like my own person and I don't need to feel swayed by what he wants to do. Just because he wants to get in bed at the end of the day and eat some chips and chocolate doesn't mean I need to like have chips and chocolate, which is a very big realization and awakening that took me ages. Like, why do you think I gained the weight in the first place? Because I was like, he's having it, I want to have these things and stuff like that. But now I'm like, I don't even want it. You know, salt and vinegar chips, I fucking love them. Don't get this twisted. They give me heartburn. They give me heartburn. Once you stop eating these things like regularly, they actually start fucking with you and you feel so sluggish eating them, so lethargic, so down. I can really tell now when I'm eating quote unquote off plan how much it affects like my mindset, my body, all of the things. And I'm not saying like you can't have these foods and all of the things, but I just think once you actually realize you don't need it and you start kind of detaching from it, that addiction kind of stops and you stop feeling like you need those foods all the time and you actually stop craving them and stop caring about them. I totally get like needing a sweet treat every day. I'm always having a bit of dark chocolate and stuff. My partner is the type of person that's like, dark chocolate, disgusting. And I'm like, that's because you are so familiar with like the sugar and the highs that you get from like milk chocolate and the things you get from like normal chips or whatever. Like I'll have dark chocolate Bomberries. I don't even like the milk chocolate ones anymore. And that's not to say I don't like milk chocolate, but I'm like, the dark chocolate ones align with my goals more, make me feel so much better. And this is me just like owning my shit of like, I can actually have the balance in the both, but you're having like triple the amount of calories as me right now. And I'm actually satisfied with what I have. But it's really odd to like blame your partner because he wants to eat out. okay, have you actually communicated to your partner what your needs are and what you're actually wanting? Because I think it's really important to say, hey, I actually am trying to actively lose a little bit of weight, or actively watch what I'm eating and just feel a little bit better, really wanting to work on like my mental health, all of the things, and eating out multiple times a week actually doesn't align with that for me. I think it's, none of us are having these conversations, and then we're so quick to like blame our partner, but like, how is your partner supposed to know? How are they supposed to know what's going on in your brain if you're not communicating about it? If your partner is asking you to like eat out all the time and then you don't want to say no, is that even a strong relationship anyway? And like, I'm not trying to get on here and be like, question your whole relationship, but I just don't think it's really ideal when you like have a weight loss goal in mind, or you're even just like actively thinking, oh my God, my body has just changed. It looks like I've gained 20 kilos overnight. But then if we actually look at the patterns, like takeaway Friday, a brunch out on Saturday, Sunday dessert, like movie snacks, like walking less, skipping gym to hang out and spend more time together. It's actually not like that one of these things is bad. It's the accumulation of it all and how it kind of just adds up and gradually happens. And I think it's really important as well, and I see this often, is like, who are you outside of your relationship? Because we give up our gym membership, we give up our gym routine. I see a lot of people end with their coach, cut all ties with everything because they want to spend time with their partner. And what I actually see often is, because I've just worked with so many women and I have so many friends in the industry as well, is like, like my partner said it's too expensive. My partner says it's a waste of money. Like, that is so weird to me. I could never actually work. I could never work with someone. No, I could never actually date someone if they said that investing in my longevity, investing in my health and fitness is a waste of money. Meanwhile, they're wasting money on like Uber Eats, and like, that's a waste of money to me. And I think it's figuring out your values, because if your values don't even align with that, how the fuck are you supposed to have a long-term relationship with this person? Like, your values obviously don't align, period. Again, you can be your own person, but if you're if you're butting heads, if you're butting heads over literally the simplest thing, health and fitness, how are you supposed to make like big life decisions? I think we're also at this age now where you're seeing everyone getting engaged, married, purchasing houses, having kids, whatever. I couldn't imagine having kids with someone that can't even like let me be my own person and have a health and fitness coach if I want, or to say no to takeaway if I want. Like, that doesn't mean they can't get the takeaway. And if they can't be their own person and go get the takeaway, like, this is so weird, right? Like, I just find this so odd. And I think it comes back to us. Like, again, it's not their fault. It's us being like a bigger person and like speaking up for what we want and not being like a people pleaser, especially in our relationship. Because where are you disappearing in this, right? When was the last time you actually did something for you that you wanted to do? If you genuinely, like, I see all the time, I used to love going to the gym. I had such a strong routine where I felt really good. I was getting really great results. I felt so confident and strong in myself, but then I got in a relationship. Why does relationship equal loss of confidence? Why does relationship equal throw out every single thing I want? Because at the end of the day, say you broke up tomorrow, which I'm not wishing this upon you, but you know what I mean? Say that you broke up tomorrow. Who are you? What do you have going for you? What are your interests? What are your hobbies? Like, you know what I mean? I just think we need to have so many things outside of just like our boyfriend or girlfriend. You know what I mean? Because you used to love training. Why are you not training anymore? Why do you feel guilty? That's actually what I see a lot. Oh, I feel so guilty like if I go and do something for myself and not spend time with him. First of all, it is 2026. You can text him. Second of all, he's a grown man. I think he will be fine. You know what I mean? Like, I think we need to stop being people pleasers, because this is where it's really, really deep. You're not just saying yes to your boyfriend and doing everything for your boyfriend, but you're also saying yes to everyone at work. You're saying yes to all your friends and family. You're saying yes to your partner. Like, where are you showing up for yourself? Who's filling up your cup? Because you're literally just getting the leftovers at this point, because you're saying yes, yes, yes to everyone else. By the time it gets to you, you're exhausted, you can't be bothered, because you've been filling up everyone else's cup every single day. I'm not even surprised that by the time it gets to the end of the week, you're feeling so drained and so exhausted, because there's literally nothing for you. Something I always see as well a lot is, I'm really struggling to sleep. I'm struggling to stay asleep. You're not getting enough movement in. Trust me. I used to be the same. I used to be like, I really struggle to fall asleep. It takes me ages. I can't stay asleep. I'm not having good sleeps. I track all my sleep and stuff now on my Ultra Human, so I actually have the data there. But I fall asleep within like 5 minutes, because I'm like genuinely exhausted from all of the training, work, everything I'm doing. Like, I'm genuinely exhausted. My body is maxed out, and not in a bad way of like I'm not feeling enough or whatever, but I've just like done so much. I've exerted so much energy. I'm here for a good sleep. My average sleep is like 8 hours. Like across the week. Sometimes I'm having 9 hours, sometimes I'm having 7 hours, but I'm hitting within the range every single day. And I don't know why that's like a flex. It shouldn't be a flex, but everyone's having the shittest sleep ever, relying on melatonin and all of these like sprays and stuff. Okay, if you actually moved your body and prioritized yourself, you would sleep a fuck ton better. It is like not all about your boyfriend. Lovingly. I hope this is having like such a big realization, and this is not in like a mean way. Like, trust me, I was the same, of like saying yes to everything, putting everyone else first, not really realizing what I wanted to do. And I know even at the time I was like, oh, like, can you come to the gym with me? Can you do this with me? Like, don't lose your independence in that. Now I'm like, okay, I'm doing this. You're either in or out. Like, I don't actually care. So I think that's really important as well, because you didn't just wake up 10 kilos heavier in your relationship. This has happened slowly over time from those habits being kind of neglected and pushed to the side. But also, let me just paint the scene a little bit. Over the last few months, what have you been doing? Probably avoiding the mirror, avoiding photos, shopping, even like intimacy with the lights on. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like those little signs are like nothing in the moment. They're just like brushed off. But then you're like, oh, fuck, like, I don't even want to see myself naked. That's insane. I don't even want to go to social events. And it's not even the scale weight. It's actually just feeling like you've completely lost yourself and you don't even know what's going on with your body, your brain, your identity, because you've lost that element of independence as well. And I think the outside of this is like, you don't actually need another diet. You actually need to rebuild who you are outside your relationship. And whether that looks like getting into some hobbies that used to light you up, which it doesn't even need to be like a physical activity, but something fun that you used to love, spending some independent time with yourself. I actually think as well, everyone is so quick to like, oh, I need to be with my boyfriend every day. We need to move in together. We need to do this. We need to do that. I'm like, where is your independence? Where is the thing that you do for you that's just for you, that has no one else involved in things? And that's how we like completely lose ourselves in it. And I actually think we need to stop saying it's okay. It's not okay to be gaining 10 kilos in a relationship. It's not. We need to actually figure out, mind you, disclaimer actually, because I think a lot of people might take this like the wrong way of like, oh, but I needed to gain the weight and whatever. That is very niche situation. I'm talking about everyday person. If I got in a new relationship tomorrow and I gain 10 kilos, that's not good. I'd probably gain 10 kilos of fat. I don't have 10 kilos to gain. Like, I'm in a really healthy body weight right now. I don't need to gain 10 kilos. It's unnecessary, right? So it's really about, okay, let's do a little audit. Where are you letting go of your habits and routines that you used to have and thrive on? What type of food have you been consuming day to day? I think a little trap I see a lot of us get stuck in as well is like, oh, well, I only had breakfast out and dinner out. Okay, that easily pushes you up to like 2,000 plus calories, which is like a maintenance to surplus, depending on your activity levels, your body, all of the things. So even though you might have only had 2 meals out, that's like 1,000 calories per meal. We don't even know how they made that meal. And if you only did like 2,000 steps that day and nothing else, you've just eaten 2-3 times what you've actually burnt, because you've probably done not a lot all day. So I think it's really important as well, understanding like, I can eat out and still lose weight, but I still need to be ticking the boxes of doing my steps, doing my sessions, actually being on top of my nutrition outside of my date night meal or my meal out, and realizing that fat loss and even just maintaining your weight in general requires like a little bit of sacrifice, which I'll get into in another episode. But I think the real truth right now about relationship weight gain is it doesn't just happen overnight, and it's not just your partner's fault. It actually takes 2 to tango. And you need to start prioritizing yourself in order to actually see these results. So starting with a little audit. Am I being codependent right now? Where am I placing blame on others when it's actually like kind of low-key my responsibility and my fault? How is it actually happening? Like, where do I feel like it's coming from? And do I need to have a conversation with my partner to actually get support in this? Because it is really hard to achieve these goals without support. So if you're feeling really unsupported, having a conversation with your partner and figuring out like what you can actually do to get back on track with things, feel like you again. And because like it literally, life is too short to stand in the mirror and hate what you see. And that is a wrap on another episode of Doing It Anyway. If you enjoyed today's episode, I would love for you to rate it 5 stars, share it with your friends, share it on your stories. And if you have any feedback, I would love to hear it. Please shoot me a DM on Instagram. All my links are below. See you in the next episode.